Imagine this, you're Elon Musk, facing massive pressure to turn your dream into reality. Back in 2018, Tesla was struggling to meet production goals. Investors were worried, critics were vocal, and the stakes were higher than ever. So, what did Elon Musk do? He did something that seemed impossible. He built a production line from scratch in just a few days, transforming an open field into a fully operational car assembly line. And in 1 week, against all odds, he and his team built 4,000 cars. That's 4,000 cars in 7 days. How did he do it? It wasn't just technology or resources, it was extreme focus. Elon Musk became so focused on this goal that he worked around the clock, even sleeping in the factory. He had one mission and gave it his full, undivided attention. Now, most of us may never need to build 4,000 cars in a week, but we can all learn from Elon Musk's level of focus. In this video, I'm going to share how you can use focus to achieve your goals, no matter how big or small they are. Let's dive into how to be focused and discover techniques that can help you achieve your personal best. First, let's dive deep into why we lose focus. Knowing the reasons behind it can help us understand how to control it. Picture this, the average person now spends about 7 hours every day online. That's almost half of our waking hours. With all the apps, notifications, and updates, our brains are constantly being asked to switch between tasks. And, over time, our attention spans have actually gotten shorter because of this. But today, it's like our minds are always on alert, ready to jump from one thing to another. Have you noticed that when you try to study or work, your mind suddenly thinks about checking messages or scrolling through social media? This is no accident. Apps are actually designed to keep us hooked. Developers use algorithms that trigger our brains to crave that next like or comment. It's a cycle that feeds distraction. But it's not all bad news. Just like our brain can be trained to get distracted, it can also be retrained to focus. In fact, our brain has a unique ability called neuroplasticity, which means it can change and adapt based on how we use it. So, if we put in the effort, we can actually train ourselves to focus better and avoid getting distracted by all this noise. Setting up your environment is one of the most powerful things you can do for your focus. It's like setting the stage for a performance. Imagine an artist trying to paint in a crowded, noisy room versus a quiet studio. Which one do you think will help them create their best work? The same goes for you. First, clear your space. Researchers have found that when your workspace is clutter-free, your mind also feels clearer. Let's break it down. Start by removing anything unnecessary from your desk. Just keep the essentials, like your computer, notepad, and maybe a plant or a small piece of decor that helps you feel calm. Colors can also influence our mental state. For example, studies show that blue tones can promote calmness, which helps with focus, while green is known to boost creativity. If you're able to add a bit of these colors to your workspace, even just a small item or picture, it can make a noticeable difference. And lighting, let's not forget lighting. Natural light is best, as it helps regulate your body's natural rhythm, keeping you alert during the day. But if you're working late or in a darker room, choose soft, warm lighting rather than harsh white lights. It reduces strain on your eyes and helps you stay focused longer. Let's be real, our phones, computers, and all the apps on them are probably our biggest distractions. But instead of blaming technology, let's use some clever ways to take control. Start by putting your phone on Do Not Disturb mode. This feature is powerful. It blocks all notifications except the essential ones. That way, You're not tempted to look at your phone every time it buzzes. But here's the key, make sure you place your phone out of sight, too. Studies show that even having a phone in sight can reduce focus, as it reminds you of social media and messaging. There are also apps designed to help you stay focused by blocking other apps. For instance, apps like Focus at Will or Forest can block distracting sites, so you don't accidentally end up on social media when you should be working. These apps turn your phone into a productivity tool instead of a distraction. Narrator: if you work on a computer, you can also use browser extensions like Stay Focused or Cold Turkey. These let you block or limit your time on distracting websites. This way, you can still check social media, but only for a limited time, like 10 minutes per hour. Let's listen a great speech.
I want you to ponder these 4 questions. Here's the first one, and that's why. Why pay the price? Why work this hard? Why go this far? Why try to learn this much? Why develop yourself to the full? Why try to become all that you can possibly become? That's a good question, why? And you're the only one personally that can answer that question for yourself. You've got to have your own list of whys. Here's what I want you to do when you go home after you've left this extravaganza. Work on your list of whys. One of the big thrusts for success is to come up with a strong enough why. In leadership training, here's what we learn. If the why is powerful, the how is easy. Now, here's number 2. The first question to ponder when you go home is why. Here's another good answer to why. It's the second question. Why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see how many skills you can develop?
Let's talk about goal setting. Setting small, achievable goals is a powerful technique to keep you focused and motivated. Here's why: every time you complete a small goal, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. Think of it this way: imagine you're at the base of a mountain. Looking at the top might feel overwhelming, and it might even make you want to quit before you start. But if you focus on just reaching the next small rock or tree, it feels doable. And before you know it, you've made serious progress. Break your work down into mini tasks. If you're writing a report, don't tell yourself, I have to finish this whole thing. Instead, set a goal like, I'll complete the introduction or I'll outline the main points. As you finish each small part, you'll feel accomplished, and that feeling will push you to keep going. Have you ever tried to focus, but random thoughts keep popping up? This is called mental clutter, and it's a huge barrier to focus. Luckily, there's a simple solution: the brain dump. Before you start working, take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone, and write down everything that's on your mind. It doesn't have to make sense. Just jot down any worries, to-dos, or ideas floating around. Once you've written it out, your mind will feel lighter, and you'll find it easier to concentrate. If you have a lot on your mind, try to prioritize what's important. You don't need to deal with everything right now. Focus on the main things for the moment, and tackle the rest later. This keeps your mind from getting overwhelmed. Motivation is essential for focus, and one of the best ways to stay motivated is to reward yourself for each goal you achieve. Our brains respond to rewards, no matter how small. It's like training a pet, the rewards encourage good behavior. So, set small rewards for yourself after you complete a task. Maybe it's a snack, a short walk, or 5 minutes of a favorite game. This reward signals to your brain that focus leads to positive outcomes, and it keeps you motivated to keep going. Here's a tip: make sure your reward comes quickly after your goal is completed. The 2-minute rule suggests that to make rewards effective, you should enjoy them within 2 minutes of finishing your task. This reinforces your brain's connection between hard work and reward. Finally, let's talk about self-compassion. It might sound simple, but being kind to yourself is a powerful tool for focus. When you lose focus, instead of feeling bad about it, gently guide yourself back on track. Studies show that people who practice self-compassion are less likely to give up when they face challenges. So, if you find yourself distracted, don't worry, just take a deep breath and refocus. With time, you'll notice that your resilience grows, and your focus improves.